Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Mauritius with Love. I hope you guys have been keeping well. Today I'm going to react to a lamb biryani recipe. It's the guys from Hyderabad, so he's going to show you how to do it. I remember this recipe or this dish very well because my grandmother and my mother herself used to cook this when I was little, and it's a dish packed with flavors and different spices, and it's a complete dish because you have your vegetables, your meat, and as well as your rice. So everything is in there, your carb, your protein, and your vitamins. So I'll follow what he's saying and I'll tell you if there's anything we do it differently. I'm from Mauritius, so it will be slightly different to the way they do it, but both ways work, and it's really it's worth giving it a shot. It's not very hard to do, it's not, so I promise, but yeah, it will be actually good to see how he does it. But please don't forget to like, subscribe and share if you've enjoyed the video, and we'll get into it.
Bakrid is the festival of peace, love and sacrifice. Hello, Namaste, Salam Alaikum, Sat Sri Akal. Welcome back to another session with your Washaf at Vareva.com. Today, I'm going to show you the bakra, the mutton biryani, and I want you all to try this biryani right away and enjoy the festival of Bakrid. To make this lamb biryani, the first thing is going and getting the tender lamb possible. We're going to talk about tenderizer also. Once you have very nice tender meat, to make this mutton nice and tender, we have many tenderizers. One is raw papaya paste. This green papaya paste.
So you don't have to use just lamb, you can use chicken as well. And in terms of the raw papaya paste, what he's talking about, if you don't have it, that's perfectly fine. We just, in Mauritius, we only use ginger and garlic to tenderize the meat. So we'll see what he says.
He's going to slightly tenderize the meat, and the meat is going to be nice, succulent and juicy when it is cooked in the kacha, that is the raw style. For this, first I'm going to take this papita paste. This should be good enough. We're going to apply this to the meat. Then we're going to apply the rest of the masalas. Today I'm going to show you how to make this awesome, simple, yet the best biryani, because I'm going to use very simple spices. The first thing, we're going to add some ginger garlic paste. In this, we're going to add red chili powder. In this, I'm going to add cumin seed powder, some coriander seed powder. Look at this, how simple it is. And also we're going to add a little bit of garam masala powder. Nowadays, when you go and eat biryani, even in the best of the biryani shops in Hyderabad or anywhere in India, or even for matter in different countries, they are not using the whole spices. They're just going to use the masala that is made from these whole spices. But as a tradition, I'm going to add some of these whole spices. I'm going to use bay leaf, cloves, aniseed, cinnamon, shahi jeera, mace, the nice cardamom, and I'm also going to add some biryani flour. Now we're going to apply this to the meat, add salt.
We don't have biryani flour in Mauritius, so I'm not too sure what that means, but you don't have to again. And in terms of the chili powder as well, it's according to your taste, how much you want. If you want it really spicy, you put a lot. If you don't want it at all, like in terms of hot, you don't have to put the chili powder.
Rub in all these masalas to the meat, and we're going to keep it aside for some time. If you are trying to make a curry, please do not use meat tenderizer, because the meat is going to become all grainy. So take the meat, put in a vessel. The best tenderizer is using extra oil. Yes. What happens is the meat is going to sit underneath and it is going to get kind of slightly very slow frying. That helps meat become very tender. I'm going to add oil. So regularly, usually if I add 2 teaspoons of oil, if the meat is tough, I'm going to add another 2 teaspoons of oil. Yes, it is going to be there, but when you remove the meat, if you remove carefully, you can avoid getting too much oil onto your plate. So now apply this oil onto the meat. In this, we're going to add some curd. Add the curd and need to mix it too much. Now coming back to flavoring the biryani, what are the things that we add to flavor the biryani? One thing is mint leaf. I'm going to add mint leaf and some chopped coriander.
So in Mauritius, we usually marinate the meat or the fish or seafood a day before and keep it in the fridge, and then we'll add these leaves. That's what he's saying, like meat and everything. But you don't have to, again, because they do it differently. So I've tried this recipe before and it's really nice. So please do follow this one or whichever I'm saying, like whatever I'm saying on it as well.
A little bit of dill leaf that gives very nice flavor to your biryani. And the last thing is brown onion. These brown onions will make it very, very tasty.
So the brown onions, what he's referring is just you chop your onions and then you just fry it, like when it comes to like crispy. That's what all it is about.
Last, I'm just going to add some green chilies. Green chilies, that is going to make this biryani a little bit hot. Now we got the meat right, and in this we're going to add a little bit of peppercorns also. You know, a lot of people make the mistake cooking the rice, so we're going to take a little time and talk about it. First thing is, to have the rice perfectly done, you're going to add 1 teaspoon of oil in this. Now, salt is the most important thing, because if the water is not perfectly tasty, you will not have great biryani. First, we're going to add salt in this, and whether I taste anything else but water of this biryani is something that I will not miss tasting. It has to be slightly salty, not too much though, but if it is not, then your biryani is messed up. So,
again, in Mauritius we don't put salt or oil in the water, but we do put saffron just to give that taste. As he says, if you put something in the water to boil your rice, it will actually make the rice tastier. Oh.
Because I want to do my bit in helping control the spread of the virus.
To make sure I can see my friends and family safe again.
Because it's the fastest way to see if I'm at risk from the virus.
Didn't realize
it's perfect. Now we're going to add the basmati rice. Nowadays we got a lot of hybrid basmati rices, which are good, but they don't have the real flavor. So what we do to get the awesome flavor of basmati, even if you do not get the best basmati, is by adding some kevda water. So because the basmati flavor is more or less same as kevda water, but we're going to do that later. All the basmati rice brands which have the best basmatis are priced high. So unfortunately, the best basmati rices are highly priced. After adding it to the water, just mix it once. But don't think of mixing it many times, because it will, dissolve the starch and your rice will become, not so flaky and not so good. The rice is getting almost done. I mean to say it is now around 70% done. I think I'm going to let it done till it is 80%, because the meat is nice and tender. So I'm going to let this rice cook till it is 80%. Once it is almost comes to 70%, then reduce the flame. And now look at the way I'm going to transfer the rice on top of this mutton. Take this rice, treat it very gentle, love it and spread it. Now look at this. I'm not dumping it. I am just dropping the air and I'm letting nice gap come between this rice. So when it comes out, it gets perfect. So when it is get dum, that is cooked within its own heat, the rice will expand, because the basmati rice, it will expand lengthwise while it is getting dum. Very carefully spread this rice on top of this. We're going to light it and we're going to put it on the full flame, but we're going to seal it. Before we do that, we're going to spread with this brown onion. This is what is going to give a very nice flavor to our biryani. And also some mint leaf. In this, maybe some chopped coriander and saffron water. To make this rice nice and colorful, we're going to add some saffron water. Now, here you can also use, in lot of weddings and all that, when they make biryanis, they use kevda water and rose essence also. This kevda water will give nice extra flavor and little bit of rose essence. Add little bit of ghee. This ghee in the last will give extra kick. So I'm not going to add too much of the ghee, very little, so that.
Again, the ghee is optional. You can add ghee or a bit of oil, but depending what you want. But in Mauritius we don't add ghee, we put oil, just a bit, not to make it too fattening. But the ghee is actually good as well, so whichever you want to try with will work.
It spreads down and the flavors will come awesome. The flame from underneath and the heat from the rice will help this mutton cook really fast. Now for sealing this, I'm going to use some dough. any chapati dough, leftover dough, anything you can use. But traditionally they use nice ghee mixed atta for this, because when this is done, they also eat this atta. But I'm not such a big fan of eating it right now, so I'm just going to use the regular chapati atta for this. Make this dough thin, take this lid and first seal it. I'm going to make this airtight.
The chapati dough that he's referring, it's literally just flour, a bit of water, and a bit of, you don't even have to put salt or oil, but that's all you need. Lukewarm water. So you mix the dough until it becomes, you mix the flour and the water together until it becomes like this, and then you just roll it as he's doing it. It's nothing like rocket science to do. It's dead easy, and it's dead tasty as well once it's cooked.
So that no steam escapes and we get a good biryani. Now all the edges, and also there's a little hole here. I'm going to seal it. I'm going to put this, press it. Usually we have a big handi and there's a plate on which we put some weight. But here I've got a glass ball. But always, if you use a little bit of common sense, you'll find a technique. I'm going to take a pot, put it ulta, and on this we're going to put weight. Just carefully adjust. First 10 minutes on a high flame, then next 15 minutes on a medium flame. After that 15-20 minutes on a very slow flame, and your biryani will be cooked perfect. Now it's the finale. After cooking for 45 minutes, I'm all excited to open this. So the awesome flavors are sealed in here. Once you open, wow, the aroma is just too good. Wow, look at this. Because the way you...
He's right about the aroma. When you cook biryani, the whole house smell it, but it's not a weird smell. It's such a lovely smell. When you walk in, you're like, you're ready to demolish the food.
Spread the rice. The rice is just flaky, and now look at the colors in the rice. Here, I'm going to spread some of this rice here. What a nice basmati rice. And I can only describe, this biryani is blessed, and in the name of Allah, we're going to enjoy this awesome biryani today. Wow. Even the pieces touching at the bottom, they should be slightly colored, and the pieces are perfectly cooked. Look at this. Each piece is like, wow. Look at this biryani. It is just awesome, dear friends. And the best of the best biryani is enjoyed with raita or salan. But if the biryani is perfect, all I need is just a little bit of raita and awesome flavor here, and the meat is just perfectly cooked. Just melting away in the mouth. And the rice is also perfectly cooked. And with the raita, you will thoroughly enjoy this biryani. Every bite is heavenly. Wow. The onion flavor, the mint, the coriander, and a little bit of rose and kevra water, and the awesome flavor of the basmati rice. This is just a perfect biryani for a great festival. Dear friends, I hope you enjoyed today's session of learning how to make this awesome biryani. But do not forget, Vareva is all about inspiring others to cook. So please post your recipes and cooking tips at vareva.com so others can benefit from your great cooking. Wow.
So this is how you make biryani. It's a dead simple recipe if you follow it according to what he says, or take a few tips from what we've said. The raita is quite quick to make as well. It's literally a bit of yogurt, some mint sauce, and a bit of honey, and then you just mix it together and put a bit, chop some cucumber and put it in there. That's how I personally do my raita. In Mauritius also we do like a little chutney with tomato, chopped onions and chopped chili, but you don't have to put chili again, and a bit of coriander. You mix it together, put a bit of olive oil and salt, and that's ready to go with this dish. And it's absolutely, I promise you guys, it's absolutely lovely to have as a treat, as a dish. In Mauritius as well, we put vegetables like I mentioned before, but he hasn't, but you don't have to. You just put the vegetable raw, marinated with the spices that he's done, and layer it just the same as he's done, and it's lovely. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I hope you do try this recipe. It's absolutely lovely. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.